Look at this towering stack of paper rapidly collapsing under its own weight. This represents a complete marketing course syllabus, and confronting this volume of material often triggers acute psychological stress as an exam date approaches. Confronted with this pressure, students often fall into predictable traps, relying entirely on passive memory, skipping class discussions, and hunting for shortcuts to quickly absorb complex theories. These behaviors actively sabotage the learning experience. Skimming material and passively observing lectures creates a superficial understanding that quickly fractures under the pressure of a timed test. Professional success requires a different approach. You must replace the search for quick fixes with a rigid, chronological study sequence. Building this step-by-step roadmap addresses the root causes of academic anxiety and helps secure your performance on exam day. The process begins with physical classroom attendance. Professors use lecture time to introduce, explain, and contextualize concepts that are absent from your textbook. Passive listening cannot capture unwritten data. This 2D schematic of a human brain maps the connection between the motor cortex, controlling physical movement, and the hippocampus, the memory center. Writing notes by hand stimulates multiple senses simultaneously, forcing your brain to synthesize and structure raw information on the spot. If those lectures leave you with gaps in your understanding, you have a specific timeline for addressing them. Inquiries must be made early, during the professor's dedicated office hours. Avoid waiting until the final 24 hours before the exam to bombard your professor with a list of complex questions. Treat the classroom as your primary extraction point for gathering untested data directly from the source. Once you leave the lecture hall, you enter a world where marketing forces dictate your daily environment, as seen in this intersection overflowing with billboards. You must actively analyze these consumer choices in real time. Look at the specific brand selections people make in grocery aisles, or the way social media algorithms target you with promotional material. To capture these daily observations, use a dedicated marketing logbook. Use this logbook to map abstract classroom theories onto the concrete, real-world examples you encounter on the street and on your screens. Actively observing and logging your daily environment transforms theoretical memorization into practical fluency. Once you capture the data, lock it in using spaced repetition. Break study sessions into disciplined blocks across a weekly timeline. If you space out your study time, then you will retain more information and be able to recall the information on your examination. Where you study is just as important as when. Select a primary study space that guarantees isolation from crowds and distracting noise. You must also scout a secondary backup location. If your primary environment is compromised by unexpected activity, you need an immediate alternative ready to go. Within that quiet space, mine all provided materials. Read the assigned textbook pages and use the publisher's online quizzes to test your recall. Finally, establish peer networking. Form study groups to review common marketing concepts with classmates who are aligned with your goals. By actively controlling your environment, leveraging provided materials, and dictating your schedule, you build a reliable framework for knowledge consolidation. As the exam approaches, enforce strict biological protocols for the final 24 hours. This requires a healthy meal, heavy hydration, and sufficient sleep. The purpose of this rigorous process is to build a foundation for your entire career. The deep knowledge you retain through this framework creates a bridge between an academic score and real-world professional competency. You will leverage this retained knowledge directly in the workplace to drive concrete career achievements. A lasting career advantage belongs to those who replace the anxiety of the shortcut with the discipline of the process.